Hello and welcome to Firstpost. Today we have the team of Family Man. So how has the roles evolved?
Okay.
James Bond of Mumbai.
Chembur.
To be more
Yeah,
precise.
He's gone from most loved to most wanted.
Yeah.
That's the big evolution. Also, we've taken the story to a new region, a new plot, a fresh environment that we created. And for people who haven't watched the show, once they watch the show, they'll realize that even the family dynamics have completely changed now. And so that's the new scenario. Even though the characters are the same that they are playing, we put them in a situation that they've not been in before. So it allows them to explore new dimensions in their characters, in their relationship. And the rest, I'll leave it for you guys to watch the show and
I've
figure
just
out.
watched the first episode of season 3. So just wanted to know, Shrikant is a man who we so much relate to. So, and he's a man probably very close to real world. So has this been a challenge over a period of time to keep the people still engaged? Shrikant ko people know so well, his mannerisms, his temperament. So what do you have to say about that?
You know, what was the most challenging in this one? Look, there are 2 seasons there on the platform.
Yes.
One can always go back and get the fundamentals right and refresh your memories about it. But with season 3, with 4 years of gap, there are many things that has happened. So that becomes your backstory. What has happened is actually showing the impact of it in the relationship.
In the family dynamics.
The family dynamics have changed. The children have grown up. The relationship with them has taken a different form altogether. So and then on top of that, he's a most wanted man now in the nation, from being a star spy to a most wanted man. So I would say that to get his mojo back, or to get his edge back to the character was very difficult. It was something that DK and I at times we were really discussing and debating on many things. You know, for him it was difficult to convince me. For me it was difficult to convince him. And there were many moments where we were actually debating and discussing to get some elements of Shrikant Tiwari back, which people loved it. And yes, we managed to get few in that kind of a very unusual circumstances that Shrikant Tiwari is in this season.
Right.
The Family Man is one of the first few shows when much before the OTT boom really happened. It happened. The first series, I think it was in 2019. If I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
So the boom really happened during the pandemic and after that. But then Family Man was one thing that people could relate to. So was this also a challenge for all of you?
We had the seed of an idea. Raj, me, and Suman, we created this, right? And we had the seed of an idea, and we always knew that this would be great for a long format thing rather than even as a movie, because these are characters that can keep growing and can keep
evolving
giving, and
over
it's
a
not
period
so
of
much
time.
a plot as it is a canvas and characters, which is what is required for a series, right?
For a series.
It would have been unfair if we had just made a Family Man one as a 2-hour film. I don't know if
No, it
people
wouldn't have had
Exactly,
that kind of charm that
Yeah.
it has
now.
now.
So
Yeah.
we kind of had the seed of the idea, and when these platforms came, at the first was Amazon Prime that came into India, and they were looking for shows. Nothing was made yet, so that's when we decided to do this on Amazon, and we were one of the first shows to be made. We may not have been the first show to be released, but
Released, yeah.
we were-
There were Sacred Games, which was already there.
Yeah.
So was it a tough competition during that time, or was it that you all were not looking at it?
we were not even looking at it, because see, when we were planning on making this and working on it, Sacred Games hadn't even come. And eventually, as time, it took us like a couple of years to make it, right? We had a prior commitment, finishing a film, then getting onto this, and somewhere along the line, Sacred Games came, and even 1 or 2 other shows came on Amazon Prime. But we were already well along and we knew what we were doing is anyway completely different from what everybody
It's a
else.
family
Yeah,
show where you can sit with your family. Where Secret Games wasn't that.
It
That
wasn't,
that
yeah.
was the reason. Probably, it was such a love show over a period of time. We kept waiting for a season 1, season 2, and now the season 3. But there was a gap of 4 years. How much has the family dynamics changed for you? And there's no family man, and the relationship. How much do we see new in this?
There's a lot of
the distance.
the relationship has also changed. It's
Distance.
with the kids, the keeping in mind of the present, how the present thing is. Like, for example, if I may say so, Dhriti's become woke. The slang that everybody uses now, and
quite an
has-
LGBTQ activist and environmentalist,
Precisely.
and they were
Exactly. So we were actually, when they were contemplating whether to, have those terms, whether we can use they, them, and all that, So keeping all that in mind, and then Athar, as you can see even in the posters also, and even in real life, he's grown. He's literally grown. So, or keeping all of that in mind, and then the family dynamics between Shrikant and Suchi and the kids and everything. So things have definitely taken a turn for the good, I hope.
Yeah. And Nimrat and Jaideep, you are the new entrants to the show. So this show is one that has already been very well established and loved. And you all play negative roles. I've just seen the first episode of season 3. So I wouldn't like to comment too much on the show. I'm not seen the whole of it. So do you all have layers to your character?
बताओ boss madam.
Layers.
Boss lady.
Yeah. Layers, yes, as I would say more like, as the story unravels and the plot unravels and we move with the character, at least I can speak for my character, we see her traversing through different continents. We see her, following what she needs to do, and she's somebody who's kind of planning, plotting. She doesn't get her hands dirty down on the ground, but that's where, ace drug dealers and, of Jaideep's character comes in. What happens with her story arc and everything is very much aligned with what the purpose of her mission is. It's very clearly aligned with the plan. So, yes, of course, she comes from somewhere. She belongs to a certain kind of a society, world, social class, all of that. And you can very well see and assess that. But what happens with her and to her towards, the end, we find her in a very different place, from where she started. That much I would love to just say. But she's somebody extremely driven. She's somebody who makes decisions which are very, brutal and of a very harsh nature, with the kind of clarity that, someone who's a professional in that world will. And someone who's been through very strange situations is what I could see, just thinking about her.
Jaideep, you've played negative roles in the past. So how was this different from your previous roles? I'm sure it must have had some things that you can relate to or anything that you've done in the past.
Well, it's written differently, of course.
Was it challenging? Because this is something different again.
Every role is challenging in some ways because it's a very different thing. It's a very different location, very different people, situations, your looks, your situation in the story, the difficulties you face as a character in those situations and how you behave to them. So, yeah, written nicely, written beautifully, your preparation becomes a lot easier when it's written nicely. But you need to understand the world of these characters, the Rukuma or Meera or Shrikant. So I take pride and we take pride in the situation that we made the most loved man the most wanted.
True that. And it's based out of Northeast, which has been a very common ground nowadays in the shows. And you all have started it. I'm not denying it. So now choosing Kohima as a place, Nagaland. So what was the thought that went behind it?
I mean, see, when we decided that the season 3 was going to be set in this part of the country, right? We didn't know that there were going to be other shows there, because we drop a hint towards it in season 2, which was in 2021, and we already knew we were going here and we were building the story. As it turns out, I mean, we find that Patal Lok comes and our own actor is in it, and it's set in the north, in Nagaland, and we're like, oh, okay. And now I believe even Delhi Crime has come, which is set in the north. So these are all things that we're also learning, but we were not aware of it. We as a design for this series, we chose, say, the north for season 1. That was the plan, and we went south for season 2, and we already knew we were going to go to a new region, which is the northeast, for season 3. Season 3. And anyway, a lot of Family Man, as you can see, is more about the geopolitics than internal politics of the region, and I think that's how it's going to anyway be different from other shows that.
It's globally loved, and it's quite a global concept that you'll try to bring about.
Right.
Keeping the Indian arc also in place.
Right.
Okay, would you like to add something to it, like the Kohima bit of it, the Nagaland? What is the best thing about it?
DK, what's the best thing about
Now
Kohima?
you. You've been quiet for very long.
What's the question again?
What is the best
we had
thing
landslides when we were getting there.
Best
It
part
took like
about
18 hours to
Kohima.
get
Did
there.
you like the food?
Nagaland? I'll still defer it to DK. He knows the land better, lay of land better.
Look, Kohima is beautiful, untouched by civilization and by, not by civilization so much, but by, say, the industry. So there's no equipment, no studio setup, nothing. So everything has to come from Delhi or Kolkata, or at least Guwahati, right? And when we went there to start shoot, the monsoons had not ended yet, and there were landslides. So a lot of people would make it up to Dimapur, which is in Nagaland. But the road to Kohima is this one mountainous path that goes up, which is very hard. And landslide, the roads get shut. And sometimes for a day, for a couple of days. So we were literally thinking about airdropping our actors, airlifting our actors from Dimapur and putting them in Kohima. But still the equipment and the things we wanted, everything would have been a problem. It eased up a little later. Once the weather got better, then Kohima is, you don't see any problem. But initially, in the month of September, when it's still partially the monsoon season, things can get very, very difficult. It's a way of life for them. It's a way of life. I mean, we would be driving to shoot, and suddenly the driver would stop, and we'd be like, "What happened? What happened?" He said, "Points there." And suddenly you see this mudslide, landslide happening.
I've been there, but that is a very common problem over there. So, and did you all try out the food, the dishes there, Nimrat?
So I didn't have the pleasure of shooting in filming in Nagaland. I was in Assam for a bit.
Kaziranga.
In Kaziranga, yes.
Kaziranga.
So that's where
She went for safari 3 times. Couldn't spot a tiger.
No, I did, sir.
You did?
Are
Yeah.
Of course.
She went, she spotted a tiger, told us all, then we all tried to go.
Yeah.
I never actually could spot a tiger.
And
She did.
Sharib and I, we went to safari, went for safari once. We could not spot anything but the poop mountain of rhinoceros.
Rhino.
But is it going to be an autograph kind of a travelogue also we can add to it? It's such a beautiful place. So it's kind of a travelogue also we can add that this beautiful place.
I think the key is to go very early in the morning, which she did.
Yeah.
And we're all a little, I mean, at least me, I'm a little lazier by the time it was too hot and everything was.
And they move out also.
They move out of the
don't,
open
they
area,
don't
right? So you
come
don't get
to
to spot them.
Yeah.
हमारा तो मतलब lucky नहीं था. हमारा guide ने
No, it's not like that. I think there are specific timings that they come out.
Morning and
I
evening.
know,
Yeah.
the guide was, because he seemed quite excited taking us there, and
He was
all-
excited to see you, Manoj.
all he could show. देखिए, poop mountain. He eats this much and he poops this much. That's the only
That's
information
all
he
you
was
came
giving
back.
us.
Sad.
Yeah.
And since it's such a beautiful place, so any scene that you would, and not scene, I would say any backstage scene that you would like to talk about?
See, we shot in this, even within Nagaland, not just Kohima, we shot in this village called Konoma, which is even more beautiful, even more picturesque. And it has, once you drive there, you pretty much park, and most of the village, it's like you climb up through these stone steps. And
It's
so every
amazing,
place is,
yeah.
amazing amount of cardio
Yeah.
to get anywhere. And yes. And we had action sequences there with all our
Yeah.
actors running up and running down, and oh my God, I don't envy them for doing that. But yeah, I mean, it's an adventure, right? Because what I was amazed with is I see all these really old ladies, like 80-year-old, 90-year-old ladies, walking up and down because that's their way of life. And it's just amazing how fit and how much a human body can adapt. And at 80 years old, you can just climb a mountain like that walking. I mean, I would struggle doing it.
Yeah. So Manoj, you had a good time there?
I
Climbing
loved
up
it.
and down?
No.
आपका cardio तो हो गया.
मेरा
Steps,
cardio हो गया.
everything.
The only thing that used to bother me was the 5 o'clock. It used to be as bright as
5 a.m., no?
5 a.m. It used to be as bright as 10 a.m.
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
10, 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I used to get up at 2:30 in the morning to finish my routine and be ready to leave for the location. But yeah, it was a new way of adapting to the.
To
And
that
should we
life.
all, like in public interest, should we all sign a petition that there should be a separate time zone for that region?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
people can feel like they're getting up at 7 and not at 5.
Yeah, true. So all the best for Family Man
Thank you.
season
Thank
3.
you.
Thank you.
It was great chatting with you all. I'm sure it's going to be something new, something more adventurous, and we'll soon see Family Man season 4. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
They promised glory. They delivered fear. They shaped nations. They scarred generations. From brutal purges to propaganda machines, from stolen power to violent falls from the throne. Welcome to The Dictator, a series that strips away the myth and then exposes the men behind the tyranny. History remembers their power. Firstpost reveals their truth.